Hello, my friends. This is the video that I made on HIMS on July 11th of this year, when the price of this asset was, as you can see right here, at $50.2 mark. And at this very point, my main assumption was that we had two options. Option number one, we had to see some kind of sideways movement in order to complete 5 waves in the shape of diagonal. Then we had to see the retracement to the levels from 45 to maybe $50 mark. And then we might see the major movement to the upside that should retest its previous swing highs. Option number two was the following. We could see the movement to the downside from the $50 mark that potentially could land at $32.21. And next movement should be again to the upside to pretty much the same exact levels that we were previously. And guys, I have to admit that this asset worked perfectly well and technical analysis worked perfectly well. Since I made my previous video at this point, we didn't break its crucial level of support that should hold in order to see this movement, and it happened exactly as I predicted. This was the top of the third wave, this is the bottom of the fourth, and this was, this was the top of the fifth wave, from which we had this retracement in the shape of ABC correction. And we hit pretty much the same levels that I expected, from $46 to $50 mark. And from this level, we went higher, retested these tops. The retest failed because of this movement, because of this basically bull trap. And for now, guys, HIMS is down by 14.3% at pre-market hours. This is another evidence of the power of technical analysis, and if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And you have just 2 tiers if you want to join my Patreon. And guys, here's the one of the recent tweets, one of the recent posts that I made in order to show the actions that basically are happening inside the Discord chat. Here's the week of July 7th, July 13th. This week, for the first time, I prepared a short list of 6 tickers that, in my opinion, were at very interesting points in their movement, making it easy to enter profitable short trades. It was published on July the 10th. Over the next 2 days, 5 out of the 6 tickers lost between 4% and 16% of their value, offering strong potential profits. Only 1 ticker continued to move sideways. If you can see the ticker list and the original post in the picture. And here is the tickers that were mentioned by me on July the 10th. Moderna, Coinbase, Oracle, SoFi, and ALB. On top of that, UPST was also mentioned at this post. And you can track the price action right after this tickers were posted, and you can prove my words. Additionally, a broader list of more than 20 tickers of interest for potential trading was also published. As usual, I answered many questions from my students and provided a detailed analysis of the following tickers: BayAX, AEO, FI, XYZ, CGC, MSTR, and PLTR. So guys, if you want to be a part of this community and if you want to benefit a lot from pretty much any conditions of the market, feel free to join my Patreon. So,
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, on a bigger scale, let's zoom out to a 3 hours time frame. On a bigger scale, I have to admit that this asset potentially completed its structure to the upside, and because of the structure of the most recent movement to the downside, from July 31st to the current date, it already lost about a quarter of its value. I believe this movement might continue. But everything I will show you in just several minutes, and for now let's take a look at some fundamentals. First of all, the reason of this massive sell-off was their earnings report, and they beat earnings per share by 12.73%, but they missed an expectations on revenue. And guys, the only reason why this company was quite bullish from this bottom, from the point where they disclosed their update in relationships with Novo Nordisk, from this bottom, the only reason, the only bullish catalyst was their consistent growth. And on the last earnings report that was disclosed just several hours ago, they said that basically their growth became lower. And because of this, all the anticipations of the trend continuation failed at this very moment. And that is why, guys, I think, well, we have to be cautious with the long position on HIMS, but let me show you some updates from the fundamental standpoint. So, just several hours ago, it was published the article that is titled HIMS&HERS stock falls 10% on revenue miss. And let me quote you just bullet points. HIMS&HERS health shares fell in extended trading after the company reported second quarter results that missed Wall Street's expectations for revenue. Revenue increased 73% year over year to $44.8 million. HIMS&HERS reported adjusted EBITDA of $82 million for its second quarter, up from $39.3 million last year. And in general, guys, yes, their year-on-year data is quite promising, but their most recent quarterly year-on earnings report is definitely not so promising at all. On top of that, a lot of people thought that insiders started to sell their shares. As you can see, Michael Chi sold several chunks of his shares. You can see that on the most recent sell-off was made on August the 1st, and he disclosed this information on August the 4th, basically yesterday. He sold just $16,000 in value of his stocks. But guys, this is nothing else but the sell-off from the stock-based compensation that he received. You can see that previously he received about 26,000 shares and he sold pretty much the same amount. Then he received on August the 1st 250 shares and he sold it immediately. Guys, it is not the bear catalyst, especially if you put into the consideration that in the medium and long-term perspective, let me show you this chart. This is the list of institutional investors this is the list of institutional ownership of HIMS&HERS stocks. And you can see that HIMS&HERS, despite the turbulence on its price, you can see behind these green bars, there is a black line that represents the price of HIMS&HERS stocks. You can see that the number of shares which belongs to the institutional investors is still quite high. It is the fifth highest level ever for the stock. And if you take a look at the most recent updates in this so-called smart money investors list, you can see that a lot of companies opened new positions in this asset. But yes, some of them are put option positions, quite bearish. But in general, I would say in the medium and long-term perspective, these institutional investors want to see HIMS in their investment portfolios. Guys, don't be confused with the date of this filing. It is not the deal execution date. It is just a filing date of the deal that happened at least 45 days prior in previous quarter. This means the prices, the average prices of these new positions were at least somewhere in, let's say, from $25 or maybe $26 all the way up to somewhere at $66.71. This movement to the upside happened basically in Q2, and during this quarter, these investors, let me show you again, these investors added to their position. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis. But before we dive deeper right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell, and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, from the technical standpoint, this asset, in my opinion, completed its structure from this bottom. Let me delete unnecessary tools, and I will show you what is the current count for this asset. And I think this is well, let me delete this one as well. This is the bottom of the fourth wave, and this is the top of the fifth wave, and it is quite substantial ending diagonal in this last wave, because we have just 3 waves to this top, and we already have quite impulsive movement to the downside. On top of that, I want to pay attention to the bigger picture of this asset. You can see that previously it already formed from the bottom that was established on October late October of 2023, it completed 5 waves in the shape of diagonal, then retracement to this bottom, then it completed another 5 waves to this top, and another retracement that was extremely deep. And guys, in my opinion, this might be 2 options on a bigger scale. Option number 1, it is just a bearish ABC to the upside that potentially should land somewhere at this sloping line and this range of support that I drew by connecting these several bottoms. And in this case, the downside potential is quite substantial, of about 56% from the current price. But first of all, we have to confirm this movement to the downside by breaking this bottom of $47 mark, and most importantly this bottom as well. If this bottom holds, as long as this bottom holds, we still might have some kind of sideways movement in the levels, I would say above $45 mark and below 60, let's say $65 in this quite wide range. On top of that, this movement to the downside, in my opinion, hasn't the completed structure, and this means we might see at least one more leg to the downside that potentially will land somewhere around 40, let's say $46 mark, or somewhere here at this range, and then we might have this type of retracement that potentially will complete the retracement of this wave that happened to the downside. And then, guys, I will do another update to show you what potential levels, crucial levels, this asset has in order to remain bullish or in order to become bearish. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the